Hey everybody, welcome to Do You Convert Live. I'm Mike Lyon and this is
Jen Barkin.
Oh, we need to get some sound effects. I think I have sound effects somewhere.
No
Let's see.
way.
Air
Are
horn.
you as cool as her?
Oh, that was a little
Holy cow,
loud.
that was loud.
My bad. Hey,
Oh, hold
turn
on.
the volume up.
Ow, I
Jen, it's so
don't have my
good.
hearing aid in.
It's so good to be with you. It's so good to have all of you on. If you are joining us, say hello. We always like to see those
Yes.
comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from, what the weather's like, all those
Mm.
fun things. Smash that like and subscribe. I always feel like a YouTuber when I do that. But yeah, good
Give
to
us
see
some
you.
hearts.
Yeah, excited to be with you. Hey, Jen, how did you like my clickbaity title of Market Slowdown? What did you think about
Very,
that?
very clever. Very
Very
clever, Mike
clever.
Ryan.
I
Very
put a
clever.
question mark at the end of it, like, is the market slowing down?
Mm.
Hey, listen, folks, for those of you tuning in, the short answer is yes. Yes, the market is
Yeah.
changing and adjusting. Sales were down last month. We're seeing a pullback on the builder side. And the real reality is two things I want everybody to know. We're at the top of the market from a pricing standpoint, and we're
Yes.
not really matching it with an urgency, a buyer
Yeah.
urgency.
Mm-hmm.
So with all those things in mind, it's going to feel different. It's going to feel a little bit slow. But we're going to talk about what can we do to kind of offset that and what kind of habits we need to take
I feel like
into our next market.
I feel like slow is a bad four-letter word though, It's
Yeah, I don't know, Ashley Kirby. Hello, what do you think about that? Slow is a bad word, so we're going to give you some different language. Hello, Brooklyn. Hello, Karen. Oh, it's good to see some of
Hey.
you guys. Okay, what does Twyla say? Perfect timing. Seen a bit of a slowdown in Richmond
Slow
and
down.
Virginia markets. Very interesting to hear your take on things. Well, we're going to give it to you because we are economists on Do You Convert Live. Just kidding. But we do have a lot of information, and what we're able to
Yeah.
do is share that with all of you. Hey, Frankie, good to see
Hey,
you.
Frankie.
Okay, so yeah, here's what's happening, folks. We're seeing a little bit of a pause and a pullback. Okay, no big deal because it was a white hot blistering pace before, so it's not the white
That's
hot
right.
blistering pace that we saw. We're starting to hear different objections, which we talked about last time a little bit, but hearing different objections from customers, just kind of going, is it really the best time
Mhm.
to buy a home? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It all depends. With that in mind, it's time to kind of just reset back to what we know works and focus on those foundational things. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. But before we do, we got two quick fun updates, and then we'll give you a kind of our takeaways from the Online Sales and Marketing Summit. So, Jen, something
Yeah.
fun's coming up in December. What's coming up?
Something fun is coming up is the next Online Sales Academy in December.
Wait, wait, wait,
Oh,
wait, wait,
wait,
wait, wait,
wait,
wait, wait,
wait
wait.
for it. Careful. Watch your ears.
I turned it down. Is that better?
Okay, that was better.
Okay.
Listen, this is such a great opportunity. If you are new in the role, if you need some foundational structure to your program, this is definitely the academy for you. So stay tuned. What,
Your
my
earrings
earrings?
tapping on that. There you go. Just put your
Oh
earring on.
man, I got to get rid of my
No,
earrings.
there you go. You're good. Take the rings off. She looks like she's gonna start a
Uh,
fight, guys. She takes your earrings
I'm
off and she's
ready.
gonna fight.
Buzzkill. Buzzkill is my road name. Let's go. Um, Online Sales Academy. Look for it. December. It's coming up. We actually just graduated our class from June. They
Yes,
just
just
went through their
yesterday.
commencement. Yep, yesterday they get their official Do You Convert certification. That is real and legit. You can even put it on your LinkedIn profile as a real live certification. So that is coming up in December. So make sure you stay on the lookout for that.
Yeah, absolutely. For those of you who've been through the Online Sales Academy, be sure reach out to us too because we're showing you how to
Yeah.
put that certification on your LinkedIn profile. So if you haven't done that yet, email Jen and she will walk you through what you can do to plug that in because it's always
Yeah.
good to put it on there and humble brag about what you completed.
Heck yeah.
Jen, something else coming for the first time in history, in recorded
Woo.
history. We've got something we're excited to bring you. I'm
I've
just
got
planting the
chills.
seeds, more details to follow, but in January of 2022, for the first time ever, ladies and gentlemen, Online Sales Leadership Roundtable. Hey, this is for
Oh,
managers, anybody managing the teams. We're going to have a year long, deep dive program just for you. If you're super
Oh
excited
man.
about that, let us know. And if you love the Academy, let us know. We always want to see that. Ooh, Kayla, thank you. Life
Oh,
changing. Life
come on
changing.
now. I'll take
Oh
that.
my goodness. Yes, Alyssa, what is right? It's happening. It's happening. Yes,
We've
Rachel, it's
heard,
happening.
we've heard, we've heard, we've listened, and now we're going to execute on this.
That's
So
right. It's
we're
you
super
guys have been
excited.
asking us forever, and we're like, we got we're good, we're trying, but we're in a great place where we're able to do this. So Jen and I are super
Yeah.
excited. Yes, Barb, you better be there. So anyway, that's coming up. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Watch the feed, ladies and gentlemen, for that stuff. Okay. So Jen, main takeaway
Yes.
from the summit. What's something big that you pulled away from our honestly best ever, much needed online
I
sales and
mean,
marketing summit? It was
yeah,
fantastic. We enjoyed it.
it really
But
was.
what
I
did you
mean,
take away?
yeah, other than it was exactly what I feel like the doctor ordered for all of us to be together, to listen to each other's challenges and wins, and just all of the work that everybody's done this last year. It was so great. But one of the main takeaways I had was our friend Jeff Shore actually did a presentation for our attendees, and one thing he said that really stuck with me was your worst prospect in 2021 will be your
Mm-hmm.
best prospect in
Mm,
2022.
yeah.
And I was like, oh man, if that is not the case, I mean, we have got to really dive into lead nurturing, both online and on site. We got to get better at that. Those people that have met with us that are sitting there waiting, people in our database, cleaning that up. We'll talk about prospecting here in a minute. But man, we've really got to take care of those leads and customers that are there with us. So
Or as Jen likes to say, naughty by nurture, right?
naughty by nurture.
Naughty by nurture. I love that. Hey, I see some of this stuff coming through already. If you were at the summit, tell us what your key takeaway was. Rachel says, be an appointment getter,
Be an
right? Not a
appointment getter, not a setter.
not a
Come on
setter. Was
now.
that a dance? Was there a dance?
Yeah,
Did I miss that
yeah.
one?
It's like appointment
So
getter, not
if you were
setter.
there, what was your main takeaway? My big takeaway was, first of all, I think that people were designed to be together live in person. Like we
Yes.
just a lot of people really needed that. It
Yeah.
was great. I needed it. Didn't know how much I needed it. I do so much of this before, I forget what it was like. So after
Yeah.
15 plus months of not ever doing these, it was just so I was just thankful. I was really thankful that it happened and that people were there.
Yeah.
My other takeaway was just even just feedback from the people is as we're talking through what it takes to do this the right way, everybody's kind of going, yeah, we're potentially understaffed and we're potentially underprepared, but I think light bulbs were clicking, especially with a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
leaders that were in the room.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I finally get it. Like COVID forced them to get it, appointment only forced them to get it. And now as we move into this new market, everybody's like, we don't want to be behind on this. So it was
Very
kind of
true.
like the negative was we're understaffed, underprepared.
Yeah.
The positives like we're going to do something different and make sure that we do it because the big number
Yeah.
that came out from our recent update from our benchmarks
Yeah.
was what was that magical number of contribution by online sales, Jen?
57%. It
57%.
keeps going up.
That's right. All that data from all across the different markets and over 120 plus
Mm-hmm.
online sales specialists shows us that it's more than 50%. The last marker was 51%. This
Mm-hmm.
is 57%. So it
Right.
keeps on hovering in that plus 50%. So our big thing was like apply more than 5 to 7% of resources towards something that's
Yes.
driving
Amen.
57%. So yeah, it was a great summit. Get on the
Amen.
waiting list for next year. It's going to be in magical, beautiful Phoenix, Arizona when it cools down in September. So you won't want to miss it. We're looking forward to it. So all right, hey,
Absolutely.
what we're working for here is going to that concept of your worst prospect in
Yeah.
2021 could be your best prospect in 2022. As we do start seeing the market adjust back to more normal and even
Mm-hmm.
potentially come down a little bit. Oh, by the way, other key point I wanted to share with everybody. We shared at the
What?
summit. I can't remember where, but also
What?
in everything that we've been saying is online sales dominates a down market. Like if you've got a good
Yes.
online sales program, it creates a buffer for down market. So even if it does go down, I think it's not going to crash. It's going to may go down a little bit. Online sales dominates a down market.
Online
So
sales
write that
is
down.
important in good markets,
Yeah.
normal markets, hard markets. I mean, it's
And crucial in a down market.
crucial in down market.
All right,
Absolutely.
Jen. So why don't you talk us through kind of like, okay, we're making the shift. What habits are we taking with us into this next market?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have deemed September as no OSC left behind month. And just speaking on that, I check out the latest blog that we have posted on our website. But, there's three things that really you want to focus on going into this next part of the year. Important, your skills, right? So we've got to focus on your skills. We've got to focus on setting some goals so that we can clean things up, get things ramped up for the spring market that happens. Right. And then also your self-image. This is hugely important. So let's talk a little bit first about skills. And when you look at online sales skills that, we've cut some corners this last year. We've kind of maybe have forgotten how to do some of the fundamental things out of sheer necessity. I mean,
yeah, it was purposeful.
Yeah, purposeful. There was just a lot of things happening. But now that we have a little bit more time, things are a little more normal, we're going to say, we can really kind of get back into some of those fundamental things. So what have we forgotten? Video email, right? Personalized video email.
We've been doing the like informal surveys on all of our coaching calls, group and individual.
Yes.
And we're like, hey, when's the last time you sent a personalized video email? They're like,
yeah. Yes, and I just want to say what Mike is talking about in that blog. We actually included the a skills assessment for you to kind of take and self-evaluate yourself and what you're doing. And yes, video email comes up all the time. Like, hey, yeah, I'm not doing personalized prospecting. Yeah, haven't really been able to focus on that at all. Outbound calls. Who has time to make outbound calls? I'm not making the phone ring the other way. I'm just taking calls in, even getting out on site and visiting our communities. We are kind of in our little bubble, our Zoom coma bubble behind the scenes, right? We haven't been making our way out on site. And another thing that has become really apparent in the last couple of weeks, talking with some of our online sales specialists, is we've gotten slack on tracking handoff and, kind of those best practices around the handoff and whether or not, we're observing and reporting what's happening with our on-site teams as far as the handoff. So, in a nutshell, self-evaluating and really looking at some of those skills that you haven't had time to do. And here's the other thing I would tell you is after you do the self-evaluation, it's great. Yes. Okay. I know I need to do better at that. But now is the time to really set some goals on how you're actually going to do better on those things. So, use the SMART goal plan, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, timely, and make some goals for yourself going into this next quarter. Okay, I'm going to do video emails. Here's where I'm going to start. Every new builder specific website lead that comes in is going to get a personalized video email from me where I'm using their name. I'm referencing what they inquired about. And I'm going to make sure I do that and I monitor that for 30 days and then look at what your results are in the end. So just be very specific about that and make sure that you're setting some goals. Now is a great time to get things cleaned up and buttoned up, because I think things will be back to a little busier in the spring. And so we've got to be prepared for that.
Yeah, I think as the market resets a little bit and all this inventory comes online, which it's coming, folks.
It's coming.
You're building it.
It's a
Your
building.
other builder right down the street's building it. We're all building it, and we were all waiting to price it until it was that frame or whatever. It's coming. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's going to be a real push, and you're going to start making phone calls, or you're going to be texting people, or you're going to be emailing and saying, hey, we've got the inventory. And they're going to go, I don't care. Doesn't matter. So you got to get
Yeah.
those skills ready to go. I think that's a really good point.
Yeah. And I want to talk a minute about prospecting too. And we've come on here and we've told you, okay, here's what's happening with prospecting. At the beginning of COVID, we changed it. Then we kind of came back in and said, okay, it's time to prospect again. Prospecting right now really needs to be a lot of database cleanup, right? Verifying interest, who's on your list, who needs to be moved off your list, and being able to provide that information up to leadership and marketing about truly what's happening in your database.
Yeah.
One thing I shared at the summit with the group when we were talking about this is an online sales specialist had received an email back from a prospect or customer saying, do you even still care about selling me a home?
Mm.
And that's because, nothing had been done to nurture this list, right? And prospecting right now means I care about you and I care about updating you and seeing where you're at in life as well. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily all about the appointments or moving people forward. It's about touching base with them and letting them know kind of what's going on and seeing what's going on in their life as well. Same thing for on-sites. People that have come out and met with you,
Mm-hmm.
they need to be nurtured, right? And it's not online sales responsibility, but this is where you could maybe help and be that resource of maybe how to do segmentation and how to do lead nurturing for your on-site teams as well.
Facts. Good stuff
Facts.
right there.
Yeah. You know, just speaking of how things are maybe getting a little harder, I was talking with Kendall from Hartford earlier today, and she said, I'm actually having more fun right now. It's all about it's challenging, right? Getting somebody engaged and being able to go after it and get that appointment is a lot more fun and a lot more challenging than it is when it's just, you're just in that reactive mode and you're just moving people through.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good thing. This is a good thing. I mean, I was talking with somebody too about, those notifications you get when your customer's back on your website.
Yeah.
And I can remember many, many a days on Saturday where I'm home vacuuming and I get that notification that somebody's back on my website. Woo, hot dog, pick up the phone and call them when they are in the mood. And guys, like, you can get that engagement and see what's going on and possibly get that appointment and move them forward. That's some stuff that we
Hey,
haven't
no,
really been doing.
hey, say woo hot dog
But
again.
woohoo, hot dog.
That's what a glockenspiel is. I've never even pressed that button.
But like I've been talking with people that are like, yeah, those notifications from my CRM are going to a filtered inbox, right? I'm not really looking at those anymore. And I'm like, man, that's a great tool that we haven't really had to use, but we're gonna have to start using it. We're gonna have to
Yeah,
start doing that
totally.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
Totally. Samesies over here. I was talking with Brooke from a builder that I work with, and she said, it's harder work, but it's more rewarding.
Yes.
It's just kind of back to what it was. It's like before it was work was hard, but
Yeah.
like the process of setting appointments and
Mm-hmm.
dealing with customers was straightforward. We have a house to sell. You want to set an appointment. Does this work? Next step, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's going back to really diving deep with
Yeah.
customers, qualification, getting out there, but it's more rewarding. It's less like order
Yeah.
taking slash glorified secretary on
Yeah.
steroids.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
love it.
Exactly. Um, the other thing that is really important for you guys to think about right now too is self-image. And I've been on this kick this last month. I've probably lost some
Boy,
friends
watch
over
out.
this, but
Who's experienced the wrath of Jen talking about working dress code? Chat it out if you've heard her talk about it.
Jesse called it a gentervention.
A gentervention.
A gentervention. But listen, I mean, I get it. Especially if you're working from home, I understand that we've gotten a little lax, right? And we're not going into the office. We're not having to put on a, suit every day and go somewhere. But it's just reminding you guys, one, working from home is a privilege.
Yeah.
Two, the expectation is that you are an online sales professional and you are a representative of your organization, and dress how you want to be addressed. Dress for the job you had. That's what Mike said, from the waist up.
No, no,
Exactly.
no. Don't dress for the job you
I mean, for the
have.
job
Dress
that
for
you
the
want.
job
Sorry,
you
dress for the
want.
job you want. Exactly. Um, I can remember if I was going to be standing up in front of my on-site salespeople, giving a quick presentation at a sales meeting, I was in a
Mm-hmm.
suit. Not saying you have to, wear a suit every time, but you want them to take you seriously. You are an extension of their team. You are the front door of your organization. You're going to be getting out on site more. You're going to be sending more video emails, right? So we have got to look and be professional all the time.
Yeah.
So, no more rolling out of bed and rolling into work. Get up. Not saying you have to have a full glam session happening, but you should
Like
always look
this.
your,
Like this. You don't have
not
to look like
not
this,
saying you have to
guys.
look like Mike and be just groomed to the nines, but put on a collared shirt and look your best.
Well, I'm going to add one thing to this. I think it's important. Who's with us? I like what Lacey said, at least from the waist up. So if you're with us, give us a heart or a thumbs up that you're paying attention, because I want to throw something else out there.
They
I
checked
also
out.
think part of your dress code is your Zoom box, right?
Mm.
You've heard this ad nauseum when everything was virtual, like getting set up. But I've seen a lot of that just kind of fall from the weight side, and you got big shiny lights behind you. You got looking up your nose into the ceiling, and your background's getting messy again, or it's not in the right. Like, it's not just what's on your body; it's what's behind your body and around you. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be well presented.
Yes.
So everybody just make sure you're looking at your whole thing,
Yeah.
and be ready to present yourself virtual. So dress for the job you want, and also be virtually dressed for the job that you want. What does
Absolutely.
Don say here? It's about mindset. Prepare yourself for working. Get out of the PJs.
Come on
I need
now.
pictures, or it didn't happen. Don, what are you wearing?
When you look good, you feel good,
That's
right?
right, you got it.
And yeah, absolutely. Okay, so with consumer confidence being a little lower, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not exactly a super fun time to buy a home right now, would you say? It's not, I mean,
No, miserable
it's not
experience.
right. It's not a super fun. So this is where you, the online sales professional that we're talking about here, can really step up and do your part in making this customer experience as pleasant as possible. So, we were just talking about video email, doing more of that, getting out on site, really inserting yourself more into the customer's new home search, right? Not just surface level, but really inserting yourself. You're going to have to roll out the red carpet and make them feel even more comfortable than, because they're a little nervous, they're a little anxious, they're not sure if this is the right time to buy. And so we've really got to do a better job of that. The other thing is we're going to have to be prepped to go a little further and deeper with our customers than we have before. It's kind of like the olden days where we really had to go deep. We really had to ask some good questions and understand. So that means we're going to have to know more. So we're going to have to know more about our communities, our homes, what's happening on site. I saw some people posting on the Selling New Homes online, like how far do you take the buyer down as far as options, and how far is too far, and when do we hold back? And yeah, do you want to be giving a whole option pricing list and pricing out a home for somebody? No. But if you're getting the same option questions over and over again, it might be good to know so you can answer some of those frequently asked questions, right, with confidence. and then have that buying signal or that signal to move them forward to your on-site sales team.
That's right.
So, there's just a lot of times where we go, well, I know a little bit about everything. You're going to need to know more. So you're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to really study up on what's happening on site, get that information, study your website so that you can confidently talk a little bit further through what's happening and not move people to appointment too quickly, because it's not about quantity. It's about what, Mike?
Quality, man. Hey, P.S. Breaking news. Rachel says she bought a home yesterday. Is this true?
What?
Red Door Homes bought a home from Mungo Homes and chatted. Rachel, is this true? Are you making things up?
Built a
Do we need to get you a housewarming gift? We need to know more. Inquiring minds want to know. All right, so we'll let that keep happening over there in the comments section. Well, that's good. Hey, quality appointments, quick handoff. That's what was happening before, but we know more leads and now even more appointments does not equal more sales in this market. So we got to just be careful with that. Jen, what else are you hearing out there in the world? And everybody on right now, what are you hearing from your customers? Yeah. What are some of the biggest things that they're pushing back on in this new market?
Yeah. So Mike, like hearing people say, well, I think I'll just wait and see what happens. The prices are really high. I'm not sure it's, I think I might wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
So what should people say?
Well, I mean, listen, the prices are high. That's what you start out with. A disruptive statement is like, you're absolutely right. The thing that when people say the prices are high, we always say they are. Highest we've seen in a long time. The question is, do you need to move or do you have to move? Right?
Right.
Do you want to move or do you have to move? Like, you're just trying to figure out, like, is this something you want to do right now or is this something you have to do right now? If it's something you have to do right now, let me show you why we're the best choice. Okay? That's all you can do. Everybody's getting hung up on, like, how do I tell them that it's the best time, that it is a good time to buy? You don't tell them that because that's not true. Is it a good time to buy a car right now? Yes or no, Jen? And audience. Good time to buy a car? Yes or no?
No.
Terrible time.
But if you have to.
If you got in a wreck and you totaled your car, do you have a choice? No. So you're going to go try and make the best choice that you can.
Right.
There are people who are relocating, moving, done with California, have all this money burning a hole in their pocket, got relocated for military, got relocated, all this stuff. So they have to move. You're either going to do resale, you're going to rent, or you're going to buy a new home. Let me tell you why buying a new home with us in this community is the best option for you, right? So yeah, Kimberly says waiting for pricing to go down is a big one. Okay, true. The one thing we say is like, hey, totally understand that timing the market would be great if we could figure that out. However, you could wait potentially for the prices to go back down $50,000, but if the interest rates goes up to 0.5% to 1%, that savings is completely wiped out in a monthly payment.
Exactly.
So are you going to try and time the market? You just have to be ready to talk about those things. First of all, understand what a percent does and how much that is per $50,000. Right?
I think
so. Yeah, we're hearing this from a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think some people are also going to have to start having some competition with incentives and price reductions from other builders.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah, and so just
everybody's doing this. They're staring at each other with their discounts ready, like who's going to do it first, and it's a standoff. And it's going to happen. And so but you don't want to play that game because that's just, price is just a race to the bottom, So, but I'm seeing it from all of you guys. We're waiting for the prices to come down. It's going to happen. You just got to make sure that it lines up with the timing. And then you're going to see a big rush of FOMO of everybody like, I don't want to miss out on prices and the home's disappearing again.
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's why too, it's important just going back, about lead nurturing. You still need to, if you talk to somebody and you have that conversation and you're not able to move them forward for whatever reason, like they're like, yeah, I'm just going to wait. Okay, no problem. Would love to have your contact information. I'll check back in with you periodically and keep you updated on what we have going on. You still want to capture that information, put them in your CRM, because guess what? They're going to go look around at everybody else and have the same scenario. And the online sales specialists that are going to be good at following up and nurturing will win in the
Yeah,
end.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, you just have to outlast your competition, right? That's all you're doing. A little bit of stamina.
Yes.
Natalie asked that question. What if your market is a lot of second home buyers, people who do not need to buy a home? Again, they've never needed to buy a home. And maybe you guys can
Yeah.
help Natalie with that. So it's not about convincing them to do something they don't want to do. It's about being in front of the ones who are ready to make a decision to move forward. And that's never been more necessary than when you're talking about second home buyers, active
Yeah.
adult, no
Absolutely.
urgency. That happens. And this breaking
Mm-hmm.
news from Utah, Audra says we now have incentives and had some price reductions. Oh, if it's happening in Utah, it's going to happen everywhere. Yeah, it's happening. And all it is just pricing getting back to more in
Mm-hmm.
line with what it is. As lumber and
Yeah.
everything else goes down, we're going to have some of that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. What does she say? We ramped up her follow-ups, taking longer to set appointments, but the process does work and we're
Yay.
seeing results. Yay, Audra. That's great. That's great. All
Yeah,
right, Jen,
absolutely.
what are you had at the bottom? Yeah, we're not trying to overcome unmotivated buyers. You put that in your show
Yeah,
notes. That's great.
I did. I did.
Come
Yeah.
on. I didn't
We
even
are just
read that far
in
down.
sync. We are in sync.
Yep. Kimberly's asking Audra, what types of things are you doing? That's great. And I'll let the crowd answer that. Everybody on what do you do for follow-up? Here's our big thing. Got to have at least 7 touch points, more likely to be 9. You've got to have a combination and a variety of communication of personalized emails, phone calls. Yes, you still use the phone, text messages, and video emails. You plug those in and you make sure you front load it in the first week. That's your
Mm-hmm.
follow up for 30 days in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Yep.
me in a nutshell. Going back with some Austin
Mm-hmm.
Powers representation.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
But beyond that, it's really like prospecting too. You prospect with video, you prospect with texting, you prospect with
Yeah.
email. That's how we reach out to people. So you just have to be persistent because
Yeah.
persistence kills resistance.
The other thing too, Kimberly, is you want to, in addition to what Mike was laying out as far as non-responsive leads, new leads that you were getting in, having that follow-up process, you also want to have a plan of action for following up with responded people, responded nurture people that maybe you weren't able to move to an appointment right away. We don't want to leave them hanging. And that's kind of the thing, is like they're sitting in our database. And so we've really got to come up with a monthly prospecting type of touch point for the responsive people too. So when you're talking with somebody, it's really, you have a few choices. You're determining in-person appointment. I'm going to follow up with them because they're not quite there ready for that appointment. They're going to go on a wait list, right? There's like 3 or 4 different options. So we need to be creating follow-up for each of those options, right? And so that's where we've got to do a little bit better, because the majority of your leads are responsive, right?
Yeah.
They're responsive. So
Hey, final question before we send us off today, or we'll stay on and answer questions. So if you got a question, put it out there. But my question to the audience is, when is the last time you went to a movie theater? If so, what movie did you see? I want to know, because we went to the movie theater for the first time in a long time the other day, and it was interesting.
What
It
did
was
you
like,
see?
I forgot how fun this was. Oh, shoot. What did we see?
You don't remember what you saw?
Oh, we went with the kids. Oh, it was Quiet Place 2.
Oh, was it good?
Yeah.
It
It was
was
good.
okay.
Normally sequels don't stack up, but
I think the
Oh,
last
we saw.
movie
I'm
I
sorry,
went
that's
to.
wrong. I think I saw that online. We saw Free Guy. Thank you, Kimberly. It was the same thing. Have we been to the
Oh,
movie
Free
twice?
Guy.
Yeah, Free Guy.
Jeez. You talk
With
about me.
yeah, Free Guy is great. Kevin, last time he went to the movie was 1977. He saw Star Wars. Hey, by the way, funny story, Kevin. My mom was on the cover of a national newspaper because she was asleep. She was asleep in Star Wars because she was bored. So she's on the front of a newspaper.
That would be me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That would be me.
Vanessa says The Jungle Cruise, right?
Oh, was that good?
Labor Day. Dawn says Shang-Chi. A lot of Free Guys. Free Guy was great. That was a good one. Yeah. Oh yeah, Robin. We were at Quiet Place 2 together, weren't we? I think so. So I've been twice. This is great. Yeah, I ran into her at the movies. Is awesome.
Okay, here, has anybody watched the Lula Rich documentary?
Oh, my wife watched
Netflix?
it. My wife.
I just started watching it. Pretty interesting.
Okay. Yep.
Pretty
True.
interesting.
True. All right, Jen, let's take us out. Well, any questions besides movie trivia with
Well,
Mike and Jen?
I just want to say, to kind of wrap this all up in a bow, right? There's what a great industry that we
Yeah.
are all in, right? And I think sometimes we're in the thick of it and we need that reminder that with all the ebbs and flows, I mean, that's what makes it interesting. And it's such a great time to be in the new home industry. And
Yes.
it's fun when there's new challenges because it doesn't get old. And it
Yep.
makes you think about how you're going to do things and how to handle things. And so I just want to encourage you to take a step back sometimes and look at what you have and look at where you're going. And it's just a great time for us to all be together in this. So,
Angela loves
Angela!
it. You know it. I can't tell who likes the industry or Lula Rich. I'm trying to determine which one of these is which. Right? And season 2 of Ted Lasso got off to a slow start, but it's really grinding out
Okay,
there. It's great.
I haven't gotten back into it. Okay, so it's good.
Yep. It's good.
Okay.
All right. So with that in mind, hey everybody, head over to doyouconvert.com. Go check out everything we have. If you're not signed up for our email newsletter, shame on you. Join us obviously here for Do You Convert Live. We've got Market Proof Marketing podcast with the marketing minds at Do You Convert. You've got Jen doing
Oh,
opt-in interviews. Oh, what?
oh. Opt in, guys,
Yeah.
next Friday, October 1st, interviewing Charlotte McCarty about the Nationals, which let me just say the Nationals
Oh,
are coming up,
yes.
right? October 16th or 18th, I think, is the deadline. And they just added rookie online sales counselor of the
Oh,
year.
good.
Yes.
The
So there's
new,
online sales team,
yeah.
online sales individual, and then rookie. So
So what's great?
nationals.com. Check.
Listen, here's what's great about the rookie. For those of you who are all chicken to submit because you're like, I'm brand new. If you feel like you're crushing it and your numbers are good and you're new,
Yes.
now you've got an opportunity. That's amazing. I didn't know
Yes.
that, Jen. That's
Yes.
breaking news to
I
me.
just found, I know, me too. I just found out today. So tune in next Friday at 1 on the Do You Convert Facebook page.
Yep.
And Charla, last year's winner, will be talking about some tips and tricks for you if you want to apply.
Yes, and if anybody on here has won a silver or gold nationals award, shout out a little award symbol and let them know that you're an award winner. We always like to connect award winners with people new in the industry because they're usually pretty helpful and want to give back. So make sure
Yeah,
you plug that in
absolutely.
the comments right here. It looks like Jack. Oh, hey, Jackie. Jackie put the entry page
Oh,
for everybody there too. So that's awesome. Nice little plug at
yeah.
the end. Thank you, Jen. That's
Yeah.
good. And yeah, tune in to opt in. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you soon. Jen, I'm excited to watch you lose in
Arrivederci.
fantasy football this week.
Oh, I was waiting for
Oh,
you to
we're
bring
over.
that up.
Time's up. See ya.
I was waiting.